Sam Avery's watching this one. Hey, Sam.
Hi Luke, yeah, two sides flying this season. Wycombe flying in League One, York City flying and at the summit of the National League. For the Chairboys, 10 changes from the side that beat Leyton Orient 3-0 last weekend. Tyreek Backinson, the only player to retain his place in the side. Shamal George makes only a second appearance in goal. Back four of Leahy, Hartridge, Skura and Pattenden. Backinson holds the midfield, Butcher and Scowen ahead of him, with Labala and Kodua either side of striker Richard Kone. On the bench for the Chairboys, Ravizoli, Tafazoli back on the bench, Wheeler, Udo, Humphreys, McCarthy, Morley, Onyedinma, and for the first time in 12 months, Brandon Hanlon on the bench. Picked up that ACL injury against Stevenage in November last year. Back in the squad for the first time in nearly 12 months, Brandon Hanlon, for this FA Cup tie against a York City side who, like Wycombe, are unbeaten in their respective leagues since August. As I mentioned, they're at the top of the National League. They've not lost away from home all season. Their manager, Adam Hinshaw-Woodley, knows a lot about Wycombe. He finished his playing career here with the Chairboys and knows a lot about Wycombe's right-back, Jasper Pattenden, having handed him his senior debut whilst Pattenden was at Worthing. For the Chairboys, 1 defeat in 13 in all competitions. That was, of course, to Aston Villa in September. Both sides in really good form. York City, though, flying, as I mentioned. So, yes, a potential banana skin on the cards. Wycombe Wanderers against York City.
Yeah, it's absolutely an opportunity for those guys to go and impress this weekend because we want to win and we want to get through.
Well, they want to win and get through, Sam. 10 changes, though. Were you expecting that?
Yeah, if I'm honest, yeah, I was, because after this they've got the away trip to Stockport on Tuesday night, and then another away trip to Wigan the following Saturday, and then they're playing the following Tuesday as well in the EFL Trophy, so they've got a lot of games coming up. So yeah, I expected 10 changes, but the squad depth, I think, is probably capable of handling it. I mean, I went through the lineup earlier, and you referenced that it's still pretty strong.
Well, I mean, no, that's what I felt. That's what I felt, Sam, listening to it. It felt, actually... Well, yeah, that's a pretty good lineup. Yeah,
I mean, if you pick out one player from the defence, midfield and attack, you've got Leahy playing at left back, who's one of the experienced and standout Wycombe players. Yep. Scowen's arguably Wycombe's best player. He's playing in midfield, and you've obviously got Richard Kone starting up front. So the spine of the team is still very strong, and almost all of these players have featured at some point in the league this season. Most of them, sort of at least 5 or 6 times. So yeah, I think it's still a strong team for Wycombe. I don't think that they can have any excuses if things don't go their way this afternoon.
Brandon Hanlon back on the bench. I mean, that's a welcome return to see his name back on the team sheet.
Yeah, absolutely is. Bloomfield kind of hinted that he might be back for this game, I think, and then he might have earmarked the EFL Trophy game coming up as well against Crawley Town for Brandon Hanlon, because he's obviously been out for 12 months. He picked up that horrible ACL injury in that game against Stevenage here almost 12 months ago. He's been out recovering, played in a behind closed doors friendly against Queen's Park Rangers a couple of weeks back, and is his first naming on the team sheet this afternoon for 12 months. So hopefully he can get on and in front of the home crowd again and show us what he's all capable of, because I have to say, just before he picked up that injury, he was probably in the best form he was in as a Wycombe player. It was such bad timing for him as an individual and for Wycombe, of course, with what he was bringing to the team, and you can't expect him to come back from 12 months out and play like that, but slowly building up his minutes. Games like this will obviously help with that, and hopefully we can see the Hanlon that we saw 12 months ago eventually. Here's Butcher, hooks it forward to Labala, good first touch into the box, and then gets caught, and that's a Wycombe penalty right in front of the byline. Fallowfield protests, but he caught Labala, went sliding in on him, and Wycombe Wanderers have a penalty. It was a really good first touch from Beryley Labala to the byline. He got caught and wins Wycombe an early penalty. Waiting for the blow of the referee's whistle, Tom Reeves, up steps Leahy and scores. Sends Mail the wrong way, and Wycombe Wanderers lead by a goal to 0. Daniel George trying to poke it forward, back in some with a good challenge, then plays forward to Kone, who's onside again. Richard Kone holds it up well, feeds Kodua into the box, across goal and in. Really good finish from Gideon Kodua. Kone found him, and Kodua finished really well across goal into the corner, and it's Wycombe 2, York City 0. Cleared away as far as Pattenden, who nodded on towards Hartridge, takes it out of his feet. Alex Hartridge, he's lost it, and now York City can break. Sinclair's in acres of space on the far side, and they'll try and find him too. Sinclair outside the box, takes the shot on, and he scores. What a finish from Tyree Sinclair. Lifts it over George into the top corner. Excellent break from York City. Still a bit of discussion going on over this free kick. Left foot, one of either Leahy or Labala. It's a 5-man York City wall. Labala leaves it for Luke Leahy, over the wall and in. What a free kick from Luke Leahy. A delicate free kick over the wall and into the top corner. What a goal that is to restore Wycombe's 2-goal cushion. Leahy's second of the afternoon, and it's Wycombe Wanderers 3, York City 1. Mail goes long, up to Akinyemi, who flicks it on towards Pearce. He'll get there too, Ollie Pearce, waits for support in Felix. Felix joins the attack, tight angle, across goal and in. Great finish. The deficit is halved again.
What about the game at Adams Park this afternoon? They're through, just.
Yeah, just about. Not quite the 8 goals that there were at Hillsborough. 5 goals here this afternoon at Adams Park. Wycombe Wanderers 3, York City 2. A nervy finale for the Chairboys, who looked comfortable at one stage in the first half. Leahy's penalty and a good strike from Gideon Kodua had them 2-0 up. But Sinclair with a wonder goal for York City at half the deficit in the first half. Leahy restored the 2-goal cushion with a free kick early in the second half. But shortly after, York City probably should have been awarded a penalty. They did halve the deficit. Joe Felix firing across goal into the corner. And there was even time in stoppage time for a goalmouth scramble inside the Wycombe penalty area. York City doing everything but putting it into the back of the net in the dying embers of the game. Wycombe Wanderers just about through into round 2. Wycombe 3, York City 2.
Let's find out about the game at Adams Park then this afternoon. Interesting one. It was tight. It was close. And Sam, they got through in the end, and that was the all-important thing. They're through to round 2 of the FA Cup.
Yeah, I mean, it's cup football, isn't it? No matter how you get there, as long as you get yourself into the next round of the competition, and that's what Wycombe have done this afternoon. It was such a funny game, because there were times in the game for a good 10-15 minute spell where Wycombe looked really comfortable. In the first half when they were 2-0 up until York scored, and then in the second half when they were 3-1 up, looked really comfortable, and then all of a sudden York started sending the ball a bit longer and causing Wycombe real problems. So yeah, for the large part they looked fairly comfortable, Wycombe, but there was always that threat. I mentioned a couple of times this afternoon how threatening York City looked going forward. Sinclair looked a danger man on the left. Ollie Pearce is a really good player. Really impressed with him this afternoon. He set up their second goal. In fact, he set up the first goal as well. He got 2 assists this afternoon, Ollie Pearce. And out on the right, Nathaniel George is really quick too. So they look dangerous going forward, York City. And in fact, you can probably draw a few similarities between York and Wycombe. They both looked really good going forward. A little bit susceptible at the back, which is why it finished 3-2 and was a thriller.
I'll tell you what, from Matt Bloomfield's perspective, you make 10 changes, the players that come in get some really good testing minutes inside them. I mean, it's just everything's so positive at the moment, Sam.
Yeah, I think that is the crucial thing tonight, is that Bloomfield has made 10 changes and they've got themselves through.
Yeah.
That was the promising thing. And even Brandon Hanlon came on for the final 10 minutes, his first appearance in almost 12 months.
Okay.
He came off the bench with about 5-10 minutes to go. So
that's great.
Yeah, that's really positive. Obviously, they were able to bring off Scowen and Kone early in the second half. They didn't need to utilise the likes of Onyedinma or Morley, so they're rested for Tuesday night and then the following Saturday. So yeah, really positive, to get through and play the players that he did. Players that need minutes and resting players that needed a rest. Everything's come up really well today for Wycombe.
It really has.